Okay, so before we actually start, let's have let's have an introduction. So I'm not sure how many of you know me, but my name is Naman Jain. So I'm your host for today, and I'm the one who is going to tell you what is serverless. Okay, I know many of you know this, but when the time arrives, I'm gonna ask every one of you a lot of questions, so to make it more interactive session. So we are over here to learn serverless. It's a serverless computing, which is right now high in demand, and every organization, every even non-IT organization or IT organizations, everyone is moving towards serverless computing. Why? Because it is one of the best, or you can say cost efficient way, and organizations are saving a lot of dollars. So that is why serverless is becoming a need of modern technology. So right now we are going to take a look on a simple topic, or we will pick up a use case to understand and see things in action. So now I'll be moving forward with the agenda. After that, I'll be moving towards like if I talk about the agenda, just a moment. Okay, so this is how the agenda looks like. So first of all, I'm going to introduce Think Cloudly. So it's very important that students who are joining us very first time, they know what is Think Cloudly, what Think Cloudly is up to, what is the vision and the mission of Think Cloudly for students who come from different background and they want to, have a good journey in IT. After that, I'm going to announce the webinar offers. Now, this is one of the most important part for students who are willing to gain more knowledge, more skills, and they can get good discounts if they are planning to do something in future. Let's say if one of you is planning to learn a course, so there are some webinar offers. You can see if you want to avail the offer. So this is the time when you can avail. Okay. After that, I'm going to pick up the topic of serverless and discuss every part of it. I know that many of you are joining from a different background. So some of you are in management, some of you are in technology, some of you are in cloud, some of you are in artificial intelligence, but serverless will make sense to all of you because it is becoming a core of IT. So that's why when you go next time in the interview, you can expect questions on serverless computing. And then we are going to have a quiz time. Okay, so as we all have this quiz always, so we are going to have our quiz, and let's see who's going to be the winner this time. So may I know, guys, who is going to be the winner this time? Anyone? Like, are you really excited to be part of the quiz in the end of the session? So who is going to be the winner? Stephen, are you going to be the winner? Or Eduardo, you will be the winner. Okay. Victor, what about you? Ursula? So guys, everyone, have to participate together, and let's see who is going to win the quiz, and see how you actually, able to select the right answer in a very less time. So you have to be right and you have to be fast. Okay. Just like the girls, they are always right and they are always fast. Okay, so sorry. So we have to act like that. We have to be very fast and we have to be right when we are on a quiz time. And finally, we will end this session with a small Q&A. So if any one of you has any question, if you are struggling with or having some doubts or having some question related to Think Cloudly, related to your IT journey, related to yourself, you can always feel free to ask the questions. But please do not ask questions related to your personal life. Okay. So if I cannot help you if your girlfriend is not, listening to you, or I cannot help if your boyfriend is not, taking you on a date. So please, guys, you guys can ask all the questions related to technology, management, and Think Cloudly. I'll be the one who will be answering the questions here. So can we start, everyone? So are we all excited to start this session? Everyone, Lionel, Olua, everyone, are we really excited to start? Awesome. Okay, guys. So moving forward here. So guys, basically, I'm going to introduce Think Cloudly. Thinkcloudly is a platform which is enabling students to switch their career to IT. This is the one of the most exciting news even for us when one of you tell us that, hey Naman, I got a job in IT. Hey Naman, I became the cloud engineer, or I became the scrum master. So that's the wonderful news which we hear out always, and that's what Thinkcloudly is. Thinkcloudly takes care of entire journey, which starts from training, it goes to experiential based projects, interview questions, interview preparations, marketing your profile, and finally landing a job. Okay, so if you need any help during your journey to move towards an IT job, that's when you can seek help from Thinkcloudly. So that's Thinkcloudly in a nutshell. Okay, um, so let's move forward, guys. uh, I'll come back to this slide. Let's move forward with, I'm going to move forward now to serverless. But before I move forward with serverless, so can anyone tell me that what is serverless? Does anyone know what is serverless? Or do you want me to tell you what is serverless? Any idea, guys? What is serverless? Anyone? Leslie, Lionel, Kenny, I see Kenny, you are there. Stephen, Sunday, I know you are there. Ursula, guys, what is, you can use your chat window and tell me what is serverless. Does everyone know what is serverless? Guys, do you know what is serverless? No one? Okay, so no problem. So let's move forward. Okay, so Kingsley has responded. So cloud computing system where provides allocates machine resources on demand. Kingsley, that's actually servers. So what you have said, it's actually servers, but we are talking about serverless, means no servers, right? Yes, Oluwa, you're right. It's without servers. So serverless means without servers, right? Yeah. But okay. So let me explain you now that what is serverless. Yeah. So let me just share my screen presentation, and then I'll draw things out to explain what is serverless. Just a moment. Okay. So I hope everyone can see my screen now, right? So basically, guys, whenever we talk about, IT, right? And especially in IT, whenever we talk about any application, let's say you talk about Netflix or you talk about Facebook. So Facebook, Netflix are the real examples of applications. So can any one of you tell me uh, the names of the application which you use every day? So can we say WhatsApp is the application? Or can we say that, let's say Thinkcloudly, okay, so you visit Thinkcloudly to watch your sessions. So Thinkcloudly is also an application, right? Facebook is also an application. Netflix is application. Instagram is the application, right? Everyone. So if we talk about any application in the world, let's say you are using an application on your smartphone, or you are using an application on your, desktop or your laptop. So that is basically an application. But where does that application actually is hosted? So all these organizations, such as Facebook. So what Facebook has done, Facebook has some computers, and on these computers, they are utilizing these computers to host Facebook application. So whenever using your laptop or using your smartphone, you try to use Facebook application, your laptop connects with this server, okay, where the actual Facebook application is running. So your devices always connect to a server. So I'm not sure if you have seen this. Let me show you. So let's imagine if I, one moment, let me show you if I can. Okay, just a moment. So if you see over here, yeah. So if you see over here, if I type facebook.com, so what's actually happening? What will actually happen? You see over here, there's a request which is sent to Facebook, and that's why the Facebook application is loaded. So all the applications, whether it is Thinkcloudly or Netflix or Amazon, any application you use in day-to-day life, that is actually running on some servers. Okay, so always remember this, that your application always runs on a server. But now, when we say serverless, so does this mean that now to host this application, we do not need servers anymore? Right? So when we say serverless, so what does it mean? That there are no servers anymore? So when we talk about modern IT, do we have servers or not? Okay, so that's the question for every one of you. So does it mean that now we are not going to use servers to host the applications? So guys, what do you think? That can we host applications without a server? Is that possible according to you? No, right? So we still use servers. We need servers. Otherwise, it's not possible. Like, it's not possible that we are running an application in the air. That's not possible, right? Like, you cannot run your application in the air. You need servers. But when we say serverless, so what does it mean? I mean, it really, when I heard this term very first time, I was so, curious to know that where am I going to host my application if I say serverless, right? So is it really important or not, guys, to understand that what is serverless? What do you think, guys? Are you curious to know that what is serverless? Everyone. So do you think that without servers we cannot? So first of all, we have to remember this, that without servers we cannot host an application. That's correct. But do we really need servers or not in case of serverless? So guys, what happens, I tell you that servers, first is that yes, we need servers to host application. That's really important. And that will happen for many years. That's going to happen. So we need servers. But in case of serverless, we are not the one managing these servers. Okay. So when we say serverless, so we are not managing these servers. Our cloud is going to manage these servers. So now I'm not going to specify that I need a server or I need a computer of, of 2 GB RAM or maybe 16 GB of hard disk, 4 core processors. I am not going to specify this at all. My cloud is going to manage all the configuration of the servers automatically according to my application need. So if my application requires 4 GB of RAM, the serverless will automatically manage it. If my application requires 100 GB of RAMs, the cloud or the serverless will manage it automatically. So everything happens behind the scenes. Now, I'm not worried about the server at all. I'm just worried about my application which is running on it. So I'm just worried. So from a business point of view, let's say if I am running my own business, earlier when there was an era of servers, right? We were actually focused on two different things. So we were actually having two different teams. One, server management team, okay, like the team which will manage the servers. And there was a software developers team who are responsible to manage the application, to develop the application, to create the application. But now we do not need to worry about servers at all. So we don't need this serverless, we don't need servers team at all. We just need to have only developers in my team, because my servers are being managed completely by what? Guys, can you tell me? By cloud, right? So who is going to manage my entire compute power? So basically servers are known as compute powers, in more technology terms. So who is going to manage my servers now? Everyone. Cloud. Okay. And what we call it now in a modern era, what are we going to call it? Serverless. Why? Because cloud is managing the servers completely, okay, based on the requirement. So if my application is heavy, okay, let's say if I have my application, and this application has like millions of people are visiting every day, okay, millions of people are visiting every day. So it means that I need a big server. Am I right, guys? So if I am having my application and there are millions of people who are visiting my application every day, so do I need a big server or not? Everyone. Yes, everyone. Olua, Ursula. So, but now, yes, we need a big server, but we will not manage this server anymore. We will not manage it. Who will manage this server? Cloud will manage it. Okay. Cloud will manage it, but it will be, and we will not have any visibility to it. So we don't know. I mean, cloud will never share this thing that if it is using 4 GB of RAM, or if it is using 6 GB, 16 GB of RAM, it will never share this detail. It will give us an space, okay, that this is an space. You can keep your code over here, you can keep your application over here, and you can run application. So automatically the servers are going to be managed by cloud behind the scenes. And that's why for me as a business, it's a serverless, because I don't have any visibility that how many servers are sitting behind, how many how much GB of RAM cloud is utilizing. So because of this, no visibility, we call this service as serverless. Okay. I hope everyone understands serverless in a better way. So do you think that in coming world, serverless is one of the most important service? Everyone. So do you think that we need serverless in future, or in even in present, do we need serverless or not? Because every organization wants to focus only on application. Okay. Every organization. Let's imagine that, let's imagine Nike. Okay. It's my one of the favorite example. So Nike is the, okay. So what does Nike sell? Guys, can you tell me what does Nike sell? Shoes, right? Everyone. So does it shoes, right? Sneakers. So what do you want? You want Nike to focus on shoes making, or do you want Nike to spend a lot of amounts of dollars on servers? I mean, it doesn't make sense, right? That Nike, being a commodity organization, it is spending its own time and energy on servers. Not at all. Nike should focus on manufacturing shoes, designing new shoes, and servers will automatically be taken care by cloud. That's why Nike runs all the applications maybe on AWS or on Azure, different clouds. So why? Because they don't want to worry about servers at all. They want an environment which is serverless. It means that cloud is taking care of servers, okay, and Nike is just running its application in the cloud. That's it. So Nike will focus on the application and the shoes. That's it. No need to worry about servers. Okay. So this is serverless. I hope it makes sense to every one of us. Everyone, do you understand? So can anyone tell me in a very uh, small, or you can say short line, that what is serverless according to you guys? everyone. So what is serverless? Yes. So serverless is actually a service of cloud where cloud is responsible to manage the servers. You are not responsible to manage the servers. Now, in AWS, I hope you know AWS is the cloud, and also Azure is the cloud, right? And we have Google Cloud as well. So AWS, like if you want to use serverless service in AWS, that is Lambda. Okay. And if you want to use serverless in Azure, that is functions. Okay. So Azure functions is actually Lambda in what is actually in AWS. Okay. So, so basically now what we are going to do, I have prepared a small use case for all of you. So what am I going to do? We are going to pick up a use case and we'll see that how serverless can really make this task very easy. Okay. Uh, so now basically it's a use case where, and I think you all of you will be very excited if you are able to do it yourself, right? So after this session, we will be sharing this recording to all of you, and you guys can try yourself. And this is very easy and also very, exciting use case. So basically, what are we going to do? We are going to create a small application, okay? And this application, what this application is going to do, this application will reduce the size of image. Okay. So what this application is going to do, this application is going to reduce the size of image. Let's imagine that you have, I mean, okay, so let me ask you this question. So how many of you, have a lot of pictures in your laptop or in your smartphone? So do you guys click pictures? Do you have many pictures in your laptop or in your smartphones? Right, guys, everyone? So you guys have a lot of pictures, right? Okay. So now what happened just like that, even organizations, they have a lot of data. Okay. A lot of images. Okay. Now the task is given to us that, hey, Naman, hey, can you do one thing? Like my manager has given me a task that, hey, Naman, can you do one thing? We have a lot of files. Can you do something that if we upload the file, okay, if we upload the file, that automatically gets reduced to a smaller size. So if this size of this image is 500 KB, that should be, that should be decreased to 100 KB. Okay. So can you do something like that? So every organization, they have like a lot of data, but then they are finding a solution that if they can reduce the size of images or if they can reduce the size of pictures. Now, this application, what we are going to build, so essentially to when let's say that our application is ready. So to run this application, we need a server, right? So basically there will be a server. And when on this server, if we upload an image, automatically that image size should be decreased. So guys, do you agree with me that we need a server on which our application, this application will run, and this application will decrease the size of the image. Okay. So let me again walk through the problem statement so that every one of you can understand what is the real problem statement right now. So the problem statement is, okay. So the problem statement is, basically we have to create an application. Okay. So we have to create this application when someone uploads the file. Okay. Let's say a big file of 500 KB. This application looks at the file and automatically decrease it to the, or you can say reduce the file size to 100 KB. So, okay. So this is the use case, that whenever we upload a file, automatically that file size decreases to a smaller size. So do you guys understand the problem statement? Everyone? So everyone whosoever is here, Innocent, Lola, Nosa, Olani, Kenny, Peace, everyone, do you guys understand the problem statement? That we have to create an application. So whenever we upload a file, that automatically the file size gets reduced. Okay, so that's the problem statement. We have to create an application which decreases the size of an image automatically. Okay, so this is the problem statement. Samuel, do you understand it now? That what is the problem statement? So we have to create an application which decreases the size of the image. Whenever we upload the image, automatically the size of the image should reduce. Okay, so guys, before I actually move forward, I'm gonna show you every step. Before that, I just want to tell you that we are running a special offer. I just want to take you through our offer. You can just look at the offer. So whosoever is interested in our live sessions, in our practical sessions on cybersecurity, case studies in business analyst, multiple case studies or projects on DevOps or project management, you can sign up and you can avail the discount of $300. And the first 10 comers can avail this offer price, where you can learn the whole cybersecurity course with certain solutions, or business analyst course, or maybe DevOps course, project management. So you guys can actually sign up and express your interest. You can express your interest to avail the offer price. This is a limited time offer. We run in our webinars. So if you are interested, do let us know in the chat window. You can sign up for any one of the course, cybersecurity, business analyst, project management, DevOps. You can sign up for any one of that, and so that we can approach you and can offer you this price of $349. Okay, this is for everyone who has joined us late. So I'm moving back to our use case. Okay, so first of all, what are we going to do? We are going to let's look at this problem statement from AWS technical side. Okay, so what are we going to do? We are going to create a Lambda function. Okay, this Lambda function is known as serverless. Okay, so what will happen whenever there is someone who uploads an image on S3 bucket? Okay, I hope everyone knows what is S3 bucket. S3 bucket is a storage, just like your Google Drive. S3 bucket in AWS is a storage. So we are going to create a Lambda function. Lambda function will keep an eye on this image. Okay, and let's imagine if the size of the image is 500 KB, automatically that will be decreased to 100 KB. So we will be building this application and run it on Lambda function, so that automatically the size of the image gets decreased from 500 KB to 100 KB. And this is the use case which you can also use in your interview. You can tell that how you utilize the Lambda function to decrease the size of the image. Okay, so which are the two services, guys, we are going to use over here in AWS? Can anyone tell me which are the two services we are going to use today of AWS to see how serverless works? Everyone, Samuel, everyone, can anyone please tell me? Okay, S3 bucket, what else? Lambda, yes. So which are the two services? Everyone, please participate. This is the humble request from everyone. Peter, Ray, everyone who has joined today. Please, guys, make this session very interactive. I know you cannot speak, but you can use the chat window and can interact with us. So we are going to use S3 and the Lambda. Okay, and these two services will actually help us, okay, to do this. Guys, I'm just telling you one thing, that we will not be right. So we are going to use a Python code, but we will not will not write this Lambda code. I'll use the pre-written Lambda code. So you can imagine that as a cloud engineer or cloud architect, you guys will get the code from your developer team. And that is what I am assuming over here. I'm going to just show you that how S3 and Lambda actually works together and what are the real requirements. Okay. But Python code I am going to use, which is already pre-written, and I am going to provide that Python code to all of you so that even you guys can try at home. Okay. So we will not be writing the Python code of this application. We will be just juggling between the Lambda and S3 bucket so that you can see that whenever someone uploads the file on S3 bucket, Lambda function automatically gets triggered and it converts or it reduces the size of the file. Okay, this is what we will be seeing today. Now, let's understand the steps. Guys, I hope everyone got the problem statement, right? Everyone, does anyone have any doubt which I can clarify? Anyone? Do you guys have any doubt? Okay. So Eduardo, once the Lambda reduce the finalized file size, it will upload the image to a different folder. Okay. So that is what is going to happen. Okay. Just for your information. Yeah. So let's see how it actually works. Are you all ready to see it in action, that how this is going to work? I hope everyone has the pen and paper ready to see how this is going to work. So, okay, so let me just tell you that what are we going to do? Okay, so I'm going to write the steps over here. That what are we going to do? So first, I'm going to create two S3 buckets. Okay. So I'm going to create two S3 buckets. One basically where we can upload the file. Okay. So to upload a file, I'm going to create a bucket. And in the second bucket, we will automatically see the reduced size of the image. Okay. So another bucket will be used for reduced size of the image. You can imagine that one bucket we are using for uploading a file, and Lambda converts that and drop it into another bucket. So there will be two S3 buckets. Okay. So first I'm going to create. So this is the first step, which is where I'm going to create two S3 buckets. Second, I'm going to create a Lambda function. Okay. So when we create a Lambda function, as I told you, Lambda function is the serverless, right? So I'm going to create a Lambda function. And when I create the Lambda function, right, I'm going to upload my Python code. Okay. So this is my third step, that I'm going to upload my Python code. So it's very simple. I'm going to tell you each and every step that how it's going to happen. Fourth, I'm going to change the handler name. Okay. So this is something which will be happening when I'm going to upload the file. At that time only, I'm going to change the handler name. Handler name is the starting point of your Lambda function. So I'm going to show you that as well, that how you can change the handler name. After that, I'm going to add permissions. Now in AWS, it's very important that you have to provide necessary permission. Now it's not possible for a Lambda function to read the bucket. It's not possible. You have to give permissions, isn't it? So let's say that you have some some data in S3 bucket. You cannot give access to all the other services, right, guys? Can we give access to any service? What do you think? Is it okay to give the permission to any service, or should we give access to only required services? So we will be giving a permission to Lambda function that, hey, Lambda, you can access S3 buckets. That's what we will do in this step. Okay. After that, we will test. Okay. Like once it is done, we will test and trigger. Okay. So this test will be performed by a sample data. Okay, so I'll be performing this with the sample data. And then finally, in the 7th step, I'm going to upload an image and verify if the size of the file is reduced. Okay, so what I did, I just basically broke down all the steps into 7 steps, and now we will touch upon all the steps one by one. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to log in to my for the first step, which is creating S3 bucket. I'm going to log into my S3 my AWS account. So over here you can see it's my AWS account. Just a moment. Yeah, so I'm over here on my AWS account. You can see. I hope everyone who is joining very first time, you guys are comfortable with this. Basically people who are aware what is AWS, they know this is the console of the AWS. So what I'm going to do, first of all, my first step is to create 2 buckets. So I'm going to search S3 over here, and I'm going to click on this S3. Now over here, I'm going to create two buckets. So I'm going to click on create bucket and type over here. Let's say I can type webinar TC01. So I'm going to basically, I'm creating this bucket with the name webinar TC01. Bucket is actually a container where you can upload a file. So I'm creating my first bucket with the name webinar TC01. So this is my first bucket name. Okay. And I'm going to, please remember, you have to keep the region as US West 2. I'll tell you the reason that why we are going to keep US West 2, but please remember that you are going to keep the region US West 2. Okay, for this use case, you have to keep US West 2 region. After then scroll down, keep scrolling down, and you can click on disable, bucket key disable. We don't want to encrypt it, keep it disable and create the bucket. So our first, or you can say first step is done. I mean, so you can see the bucket has been created over here. You can see over here, the bucket has been created. So this step is done. Now I'll proceed further with the second step. So second step is I have to create another bucket for reduce size of the image. So I'm going to go over here to create a bucket. And here I'm going to type the name again of the bucket and change the name of the bucket because there cannot be 2 buckets with the same name. So I'm going to add this, change the name to resized so that I can easily identify later that where am I going to find the reduced size or resized file, and make sure that you keep US West 2, the same region, which we have kept in the other bucket as well. And scroll down, disable your bucket key and create the bucket. So now if you see, we are done with our first step in which we have created 2 buckets, one where we are going to upload the file and the other where we are going to show the result of the reduced file. Okay, does that make sense till here, everyone? So you understood that how did we create the S3 bucket? Everyone, is it easy or not till here? I promise you that it's going to be easy. If you find this easy, rest of the steps are going to be easy. Okay, and I am very sure that you can perform these steps at home. You don't need anyone. Okay, now the second step is creating a Lambda function. Okay, so let's create a Lambda function, and I promise you this is also a very easy step. Okay, so now I'm gonna search Lambda over here. Now over here, when you come on this page, make sure that you are on West 2. So we are actually using the same region for Lambda. For S3 bucket, we are keeping the same region. So you can see over here, US West 2. Okay. Now I'm going to create the function. It's a very easy again. You just have to click on create function, give it a name which you can remember. Let's say I say create, or I can say reduce size. Oh, okay. You can give any function name, that doesn't matter. But I am giving reduce size. Make sure that you are choosing the runtime properly. Okay. Make sure you remember this. For our code, we will use Python 3.7 because my code is compatible only with Python 3.7. When you will be working in the industry at that time, you will basically, your developers will tell you that the code is valid with which runtime. Okay, so they will tell you, don't worry. So over here, my code is valid with Python 3.7. So I am going to select Python 3.7. And even you can select Python 3.7 whenever you are trying this. Okay. After that, you can create the function. So see, even creating the function was easy. We just created the function. Okay, it's done. But remember one thing, that for our code, we are keeping Python 3.7 runtime. You can see the function has been created. So even the second step was quite easy. We went, selected few options, gave a function name, and my function has been created. You can see over here, my function has been created. Now, third step is I want to upload my Python code. Okay. The third step is upload your Python code. So basically, this is the Python code URL. Everyone, this is the Python code URL where the actual code resides. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick it up directly from this location. I'm going to use this URL, copy it. So I'm going to copy this URL. Okay. I'm pasting that in the chat as well. Okay. And I'm going to basically put it under the YouTube video as well. Okay. So that the students who watch the YouTube video later, they can get the link. Okay. So I'm going to basically copy this. And now if you scroll down, you can click on upload from, and you can select Amazon S3 location. So what you are trying to do, you are trying to give, or you are trying to upload your application code to a Lambda function. So now I'm uploading over here, and whatever your link is, this link, okay, you can copy and paste it here and click on save. So it was quite easy, right? That we just, uploaded the code. So you can see now we have uploaded the code. Just click on this, select Amazon S3 function, Amazon S3 location, and then you can upload this code. So basically this code has already been uploaded to S3 bucket. So you can simply copy this and paste it. You don't have to worry about anything. Just go over there, okay, and click on Amazon S3 location and paste it here and click on save. That's it. So you can see the third step is also done. Okay, so you have uploaded the code. It's very easy, right, guys? So are we comfortable till here? Everyone, can you please tell me, are you guys comfortable till here? Or you have some questions? Ray, Samuel, Raju, everyone, Nausa, guys, are you comfortable till here? So we just did 3 steps, created 2 buckets, created a function, and uploaded my code. That's it. Okay. Now after that, I'm gonna basically use the handler name. You have to change the handler name. Guys, this is something from where the code starts. Okay, it's very important. So you can just simply follow this. Okay, and over here, right, one moment. Just a moment, it's not giving me an option. So I just refreshed it. Okay, yeah, now you can see over here, it's a runtime, and I can click on edit. When I click on edit, so over here, we have to change this handler name. Guys, remember this handler name. It's a handler name. This comes directly from the code. So you can just remember it. For this purpose, it's create thumbnail. So if you are using this URL, right? So for this code, the handler name is create thumbnail dot handler. Okay, this is the handler name. You guys have to remember this because this is the function we have used in the code. So this is going to remain same. So it's create thumbnail dot handler. After that, click on save. So we just changed the name of the handler. This is a main step which you have to do to make sure that it is calling the right function. So whenever Lambda function starts, it's a starting point. So you are giving the starting point so that when your code starts, it starts from a right location. So you have specified this create thumbnail dot handler. I know that many of you are confused that from where this come from. So you can imagine that it comes from the code. Okay, so you don't have to worry about it. You just remember that it's create thumbnail dot handler. That's it. It's quite simple. Okay. So we are done with changing the handler name. Now the next step is to add the permissions. Because if you see over here, this Lambda function, what it is going to do, it is going to pick up a file from S3 bucket and it will drop a file, reduce size file in the S3 bucket. So it means the Lambda service of AWS is interacting with S3 bucket as well. Right, guys? Guys, are you able to understand that over here, there are two services which are involved and Lambda function is trying to access S3 bucket. Do you agree with me, everyone? Guys, everyone, Ursula, everyone, please tell me if you don't understand this so that I can explain it, right? So basically okay, let me explain you. So what are we doing over here? Basically, we have created two S3 bucket and we have created a Lambda function. So what we want that whenever I upload a file in this bucket of 500 KB, I want this Lambda function to pick this file, reduce it and drop it here of a smaller version, let's say 100 KB. That is what I want. So over here, if you see, this is AWS service and this is also AWS service. These are two different services. This is S3 bucket and this is Lambda. So there are two services. So we need to give the permission to Lambda to access S3. Are you guys getting me now? Henry, are you able to get it? So over here, there are two different AWS services are involved. That is why we have to assign a permission so that Lambda can access S3 bucket. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to configuration and go to permissions. Okay. Click on the role name. Now over here, I'm going to add a permission. So click on add permission, attach policies, search over here S3 and assign this full access. You can assign any one of it, but just for this, practice, you can assign S3 full access and click on add permissions. Now, if we basically go and, you see S3 full access permission has been assigned to my role name. So this is my reduced size. So what I did, I just added the permissions. So now my 5 steps are done. I created two S3 buckets. I created a Lambda function. I uploaded my Python code with the help of this URL. And then I changed the handler name to create thumbnail.handler. And after that, I added the permissions as well because Lambda has to access S3 bucket. Now I'm going to test it and trigger with the sample data. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let me show you just a moment. So I'm going to upload. So over here, I'm clicking on test because I want to test this Lambda function, right? And also I have to add the trigger. So remember this step also. I have to add the trigger here. Click on add trigger S3. and select the bucket name. So from which bucket you want to pick it up? So I want to pick it up from webinar TC01. This is the bucket I have to choose, because from this bucket only, whenever I upload an image, okay, whenever I upload an image, it is going to reduce it. So I'm selecting this bucket name, and now I'm going to click on I acknowledge and click on add. So this trigger has to be added. So remember guys, this is a one step which I actually missed over here. So what I'm gonna, let me add it over here. So I added the trigger of S3. Trigger is important because whenever someone uploads an image of S3, it will trigger the Lambda function. Okay, so that's why we added this. Now I'm gonna click on test, and because I am moving towards the sixth step, this is test and trigger. So I'm going to basically put an event name, let's say upload. Okay, and template I'm going to use S3 put. S3 put is actually like we are uploading a sample image. So S3 put is actually for uploading something. And now in this configuration file, I know this looks very difficult, but we have to just change the bucket name over here. Under this quotation, we have to put the bucket name. So my bucket name is webinar TC01. And over here also, I'm going to put, after the colon, I'm going to put webinar TC01. And here I have to put the name of the file. So I'm going to put, let's say 5.png. Okay. So this is the file name which I want to reduce. Now I'm going to save this. And once I save it, I can test it. Okay. So I'm seeing an error because that object was not found. Let me show you why. Just a moment. So in that bucket, that image was not found. 5.png is the name of the image, which is not found. So let me go to the bucket once. So to access the bucket, you have to go and click on S3. So you can see over here, when I go to my bucket, webinar TC01, and I upload a file, add files, 5.png. This is the file which I have. It's an image. Okay. And now I'm going to click on upload. So you can see over here, if I go back to my S3 bucket, you can see that there is an image of like 5.png, which is of 372 KB. This is the size of the image. Okay. And now if I go back to my resized, you can see that automatically my Lambda function reduced the size to 13.2 KB. So from 372.2 KB, it came down to 13.2 KB. How it happened, does it look like a magic? Let me show you once again. So if I go to bucket, my bucket, this is the webinar TC01 main bucket where I upload the file. Click on upload, add files. Let's say this time I upload this different image file, 6.png. I can upload any image. It can be your own image. Okay. And now if I go and click on upload, so I am uploading this image on my first bucket. So you can see I have uploaded it and the size is 395.kb. But if I go and check my other bucket, so the size of the image is reduced to 13.1 KB automatically. So you see that Lambda function without any server is able to see one or pick up a file from one bucket, reduce it and store it over here. So you can now, if I upload, let me show you once again, if you guys are able to understand what I'm trying to say. So we have two buckets. One, we use to upload the file, and another bucket, we see the reduced sized image. So if I click on the first one and click on upload, add files. Let's say this time I upload the 7.png, different files. Okay. And I click on upload. The actual size of this image is, let me show you, 391 KB. Let me show you. So 7.png, the size of the image is 391.kb, right? Now, if I go back to bucket and if I scroll down and click on this reduce sized, the different bucket we have, so you can see it has been decreased to 13.2 KB. So you can, you can try putting any file and you will see that the size of the, file gets reduced. So you can see that, just by following these, 7 steps, you are able to have an application which does not have any server. You're using just Lambda function and that's doing your task. Does that make sense to everyone? Did you enjoy this, everyone? Guys, yeah. So see, it's quite simple. So I'm gonna send you the link of the code, okay, and you guys can try this. No, Eduardo, Lambda function is not running in a server. It might be running in a server on a cloud, but we don't have that visibility. We don't specify any server size. Okay, so for us, we just upload it and that's it. Okay. Yeah, Edmund, your question is what happens if you upload the same picture twice? See, Edmund, that depends on the code you have written. So if you see, I'm using the sample code, sample application code. So I'm not sure that how this is being handled. Okay, if what happens if you upload the same image. So I'm not sure about it. Okay. So Lambda, Victor, Lambda is not IaaS. It actually comes under PaaS. Okay, platform as a service, because you are not using any infrastructure. IaaS is the infrastructure as a service, but PaaS is a platform as a service. So AWS is offering you a platform to run this code. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So basically, okay, the reason why we are suggesting the US region, because my code, my S3, my this Lambda code, this code is resides under US West 2. That is why at every place we requested, or I requested you to select US West 2 only. If you select any other region, this code will not be of use. Okay, so that's why we have recommended it. Okay, guys. Yeah, if you want to see the actual Lambda code, you guys can simply copy this URL, paste it in the browser, and it will automatically download this whole Lambda code and you can access and see it if you wish to do it. Okay, so that's up to you. Like you can see that the code is being downloaded. So whatever link we have given, copy paste in your browser and you will be able to see it. Yeah. So that's it. Guys, any question, anyone? Did you enjoy the session? Okay. Yeah. So this is the one thing which I wanted to cover. Lambda provides you, or serverless computing provides you scalability, cost efficiency. It reduces the operational overhead, definitely. Okay. And it's a faster time to market. You can go to the market ASAP, and it's an event driven architecture. So you saw when we uploaded the image, only then the event was triggered. So it's an event driven architecture. With the help of Lambda, you can go to market ASAP. Okay, it's cost efficient. Definitely, you're not maintaining your own server. You are letting your cloud maintain the server. So it's very cost efficient. and scalable. You can keep increasing, and it's keep on scaling. Okay, so that really helps. Okay. There are a few case studies from different organizations like Coca-Cola, Netflix, Nordstrom. So every organization, as I told you in the starting, is using Lambda function, and they are basically migrating from a server full environment to serverless environment, because it is, again, the benefits which we talked: scalability, cost efficiency, reduced operation overhead. So these are some of the benefits. Because of that, all these organizations like Coca-Cola, Netflix, Nordstrom, Microsoft, Google, everyone in the world is moving towards serverless. Okay. Okay, guys. So the time starts now for the quiz. Okay, so we have the winner here. So guys, John is the winner. John Ademi, are you here? Everyone? John, are you here with us? So congratulations, John. John, I know John very well. So congratulations, John, for winning this.
Thank you.
Awesome, John. You were right and you were quick. That's great. That's great. Awesome, John. Congratulations once again. So everyone, can we say congratulations to John? Everyone.
That what happened. That what happened.
Okay, congratulations. Yeah, congratulations. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. I hope we really enjoyed this session. We will keep coming up every 2 weeks. We come with a new session like this. I really would like to personally invite everyone in the next webinar, which is going to happen in 2 weeks. And we are going to come with a very exciting topic once again, so that you guys can learn something new. Try to refer as many friends as you can to this webinar. Always remember, we provide $100 on a referral credit as a referral credit if you refer your friend and he successfully registers. So if you have your friend, ask him to join Thinkcloudly, enroll for any program, and you can earn $100 as a referral credit. And that's how we will be able to grow this Thinkcloudly family. And so guys, please refer and earn $100. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming here.
Thank you for watching. Switch from non-IT to IT today. Explore www.thinkcloudly.com.